We're going to come right beside it, about 6 inches away. We don't want to go closer than maybe 4 to 6 inches because these are large bulbs and you don't want them to be competing for space. They won't compete for nutrients, okay? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Country Murray here. If you live in a warm climate, whether it be a tropical or subtropical climate, and you have ever planted garlic before or even consider planting garlic, you know that it is a challenge. It is one of those hit and miss plants in the garden. When planting garlic in a tropical or subtropical climate, most time all the stars has to be aligned. So that makes it a challenge for most gardeners. But today I'm just gonna give you guys an easier way out, and maybe if it wasn't for this video you wouldn't have known the difference. So just come along with me as I share with you how I'm going to plant a different variety of garlic, or let's just say something close to garlic. So today I'm going to be transplanting some elephant garlic into the garden, and I'm going to be taking you guys along with me. But before we start, what is elephant garlic really? So elephant garlic, also known as buffalo garlic, is a part of the aluminum family. Just like any other garlic and onions, leeks, they're a part of the same family. So most time, a lot of us go to the stores or supermarket and we will buy some garlic that are very large, and we take them home and say that they are not as potent as the tinier garlic. Well, you're not wrong most of the time. So these buffalo garlic or elephant garlic, they are more related to the leek family than the garlic itself. However, they have that garlicky stench to them. If someone didn't tell you, or if you wasn't watching this video, you would have gone ahead, used something like this, and just say that that garlic wasn't that potent. However, you're getting that garlic flavor from it. So here's where buffalo garlic comes in, or elephant garlic comes in play. Elephant garlic produces very large bulbs when compared to other garlics. These bulbs are huge. The next thing, in a warmer climate where the pest load can be very great and can be a problem for many gardeners, the elephant garlic is also a good choice. Also, in a warmer climate, your regular garlic may not do so well, because to start your regular garlic in tropical and subtropical climate, you have to put them through that vernalization process, which I spoke about in an earlier video. You have to put them through that vernalization process for, well, in my experience, a minimum of 10 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks. So that's where you're going to put them in the refrigerator in a subtropical or tropical climate, warm climate. Garlic don't like heat. So for most garlic, you have to let them go through that vernalization process. Then you put them in ground, maybe about 2 weeks before your colder part or coldest part of the year, or 2 to 3 weeks. Then you leave them throughout the spring for several months, and then you can harvest your garlic just before your summer. But there's a trick to it. If you're in, say, a part of the world like I am, Central Florida here, and normally you will have cool to mild fall and winter, and then one year it's just a hot fall and a mild winter. Most time your garlic won't bulb properly, so that can be a problem. So you're going to plant those garlic and you're just going to get a little round thing at the bottom and a whole lot of leafy growth. You won't be getting any garlic. So to ensure that you guys get as close as possible to having your garlic in your garden, I'm going to be planting these elephant garlic, showing you guys, sharing with you guys how to get as close as possible in the tropics with garlic. If you should ask me, elephant garlic are more tropical and subtropical garlic. They don't need as much coal like other garlic varieties to bulb, so this is a much better garlic for you to have in your garden if you're in a warm climate. They say that it doesn't have as much health benefit as other garlic, the smaller garlic. However, if you're just looking for the flavor to put in your dishes, you can go with your elephant garlic. So you can start out with your elephant garlic. They are much easier, simpler for you to have in the garden. You treat them just like how you would treat a regular garlic. They take about 6 to 8 months from transplant to maturity, and they also store for the same amount of time. So if you're going to store your elephant garlic, they store for about 6 to 8 months, thereabout. They don't store as long as your regular garlic because you know your regular garlic can be stored for up to a year and more. So these things really don't need a lot of coal to trigger that bulbing process. If you're in a warmer climate, your elephant garlic doesn't require vernalization like other garlic variety do. But it still wouldn't hurt if you put them in the refrigerator if you get them a bit too early and the time is a bit too warm for you. So let's move over to the garden and I show you guys how I plant my garlic. So here we are over in this bed area. Your garlic, they need full sun or 6 to 8 hours of sun per day. But here in Florida, as I always say, a shady area most time is what is equivalent to full sun in most places. When planting your garlic, you want to go about 4 to 6 inches deep because you want those garlic to be deep enough in ground to stay cool, even though the elephant garlic doesn't need to be cool. But we're still in a subtropical climate and we're trying to keep these garlic as cool as possible. Most people will go in like this and try to get a hole 4 to 6 inches deep. This for me is kind of hassling and time consuming, so I go about it a different way. So here I have a rebar with me, or a piece of steel. I just mark it at 4 inches or 6 inches if I want, go down, and I just open up a hole for the garlic. Get that hole open. When you're planting your garlic, remember this flat part right here that look like it has maybe some roots on it at time, and the pointy part. The pointy part should be facing upward. The flat part is the base of the garlic. That is where the garlic is going to root from. And we're just going to go in this hole with this garlic like this. And we have that garlic down about 4 inches. And we can just cover it. So we're going to come right beside it, about 6 inches away. We don't want to go closer than maybe 4 to 6 inches because these are large bulbs and you don't want them to be competing for space. They won't compete for nutrients, okay? And I'm just going to open up that hole again and I'm going to drop this garlic in it. Pointy side facing upwards. The next thing about planting garlic, ensure that you have a well-drained soil and a loose soil. So you should be putting your garlic into a loose medium. I'm going to come this side again, open up a hole about 4-5 inches deep, and I'm going down with that garlic again and just cover it like that. So it's quite simple. It's not a trick or anything, and we can just continue like this. So I'm spacing them about 4 to 6 inches apart. Some are going to be about 4, some are going to be about 6 inches, but these are going to grow very large and they are leafy also. We're going to drop another one here, and these you should start see these sprouting in about 14 days or so. These are going to take about 6 to 8 months to be ready when you see those leaves start browning and drying back. However, if it's backyard gardening you're doing and at that 5-month mark you feel for a piece of garlic from your garden, you can go ahead. Nothing is wrong. You can go ahead and you can harvest it and you can use it. It's for your house purposes. It's no hard and fast when you're growing things in your backyard for your kitchen purposes. On the topic of garlics being heavy feeder, when you put these in ground, you want to keep that soil moist for about 14 days. You don't want it to be oversaturated, so keep them moist 14 days or so until you start seeing those leaves pops out of the ground. Then you can pull back a bit and water them on demand. Throughout that 6 to 8 month period that you're going to be having the garlic in the garden, you're going to water them maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Closer to harvest, you're going to withdraw a bit with the water. They're not going to need as much water or feeding closer to harvest. So maybe when you reach that 5 month mark, you can pull back a bit with the fertilizer if you're going in with a high nitrogen organic fertilizer. If not, if you're just doing like what I'm doing here, just using whether it be rabbit manure, cow manure, pig manure, whatever manure you can just leave them like that. This what I'm doing here is next to natural. This is just rabbit manure down year round for these plants to feed. It's no hard and fast. If you want to drop some elephant garlic into ground, you can go about doing it now in the fall months, and then in another 6 to 8 months you will have garlic ready. Grant you, they are not true garlic, but they taste like garlic and they smell like garlic, so let's just call them garlic. So that's going to be it from Country Mora. God bless you all. See you in the next one. Cheers. Keep on gardening.